Why is my Land Rover Lr3 so low? Look at this. Look at how low it is. The back is just as low. This is lower than access height. What is the problem? This is a common issue for all Land Rover owners. You come outside in the morning and it's lower than access height. What's the problem? Or maybe you're driving and on the screen that little Rover with the two little arrows looks like it's shaking, says suspension problem. What is it? Is it time to ditch the air suspension and switch over to coil? No, it's not. I'm tell you why. This is taking me some time to figure out how to detect what the problem is, but after I put some thought into it and I saw this other video, I know exactly how to diagnose this problem. What we're gonna do, first of all, before I get into that, right now you can't see it, but the front of it is tilting. On this side, this side is 29 1/4. That side over there is 28 3/4. So it's leaning like this. So that lets me know that there's something with the adjustment, the height adjustment sensors and not the airbags. So this is all you do to fix this problem. I'm gonna turn the car on, turn the Rover on, raise it up. I'm gonna put it in off-road height and I'm gonna let it sit there overnight. And as soon as I started, system check, okay. No lights on the dashboard that would indicate anything wrong with the suspension. I hear the compressor, so as soon as it fills up, I'll go ahead and raise the vehicle. Now, you could have an issue with the airbags themselves. Right here is just a bottle, spray bottle, has water and soap. Shake it up, water and soap. I'm going to raise them up, lay under there, spray some water onto the airbags themselves. If I don't see anything bubbling, then I don't have any leaks. The fact that the back raised fast and the front is raising slow, again, that's an indicator that there's nothing wrong with the compressor. As you see, the Rover itself has raised up. And matter of fact, I'll measure it. Before it was at 29 1/4. Right now it's at 34 1/4. I measured the other side and it's also at 34 1/4. So it was off, it was uneven at first, and now that they both leveled out. I'm gonna let it stay like this all night. There's nothing leaking. Like I say, 34 1/4. We're gonna come back tomorrow in the morning and I'm gonna check it again. If it stays at 34 1/4, both sides, then we know that there's no leak. If it's just leaning on one side, then we know that one, there might be a leak on that side, which there's no leak because I checked all 4 shocks, that there's something with the height adjustment system. Then the next night, what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull the fuse and then it can't lower, and if it stays, then we know it's just your height adjust sensor, and I'll show you how to change that. The Lr3 is still high, so it looks like it didn't go down. But there's a caveat to that. I just measured the passenger side, now I'm gonna measure the driver's side, and it is 33 1/2. Yesterday, both sides were 34 1/4 when I raised it up to off-road height. Today I come out, it's at 33 1/2, so that's 3/4 of an inch. So I haven't ruled out the fact that it could be a hole in the bladder of the shocks. Right here are my old shocks. I changed these out a couple years ago, and these got me 150,000 miles. So it's very unlikely that the new ones that I put on had developed a leak already. This is some pretty thick rubber, so it's highly unlikely that the new ones developed a leak. So I'm about to start the vehicle, raise it to off-road height, pop the hood, and then I'm gonna pull the fuse. I'm gonna show you which fuse I'm talking about. The reason you pull the fuse, that's to disable the height adjustment sensors, therefore it can't lower. Your fuses sit right next to the battery, so you just pop up your little cover right here, and here are the fuses. Take this little cap off, and your fuses sit right under this cap. Right here, it's number 26, and it's a number 20 amp. It's the third amp. You have your big fuses, your fuse relays, and then it's the third fuse above that. It's the 20 amp. Right here, it's the 20. 1, 2, 3. I have a 10, a blank, and then the 20. After you pull it out, obviously you want to inspect it, and tell you the truth, while you're under here, inspect your battery posts just to see if they're clean. If they're not, just get you a little brush or something to scrape off any buildup, because you do want your car started. I mean, your vehicle started. So the reason why you pull this out, because it deactivates the height adjustment sensors. So now, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to be able to determine if I have a leak in the shocks or if it's the height adjustment sensors. So again, I raised it to 34.25 like it was yesterday. They're at 34.25 right now. This morning when I came out, they went down to 33.5, which is 3/4 of an inch. I pulled this height adjustment sensor out. Tomorrow when I come out, if they're still at 34.25, then I know that I have no leaks in the air system, and it's just my height adjustment sensors. This is a quick and easy way to determine if it's your height adjustment sensor. Just to show you that you can't lower the vehicle when you take the height sensor fuse out, I'm gonna start it back up. I'm gonna start it up and I'm gonna try to lower it. So as soon as I started it up, there's a light on the dash that says suspension fault because there's no fuse. And then as I'm looking at the height adjustment on the little knob that allows you to go on off-road or access height, it's not lit up. So again, that just shows that it says suspension fault. Again, the fuse is out. So that just goes to show you that you can't lower it. So right now I just hit lower, I just hit it to access height, and nothing happened. Okay, just to ease some of your minds, I'm going to take the fuse and I'm going to put it back in just to show you that the light will turn up. So I'll put the fuse back in because you might be thinking, oh my goodness, the suspension, everything's messed up. Okay, so I'm going to start it back up. As you see, the fuse is off and the height adjustment lights are on. So as soon as you pull the fuse out, all you're doing is just deactivating if it can go up or down, and then as soon as you put it back in, everything goes back to normal. But tomorrow we're going to make sure, well, not make sure, but tomorrow we're going to rule out if I have any leaks in the air system or if it's just those height adjustment sensors. I'm kind of hoping it's just those because it's so much easier and cheaper to fix those. All right, see you guys in a minute. Well, a day for me, a minute for you. Here's a quick little disclaimer. Don't take that sensor out if you're gonna drive. I'm not going anywhere today, so I'm just gonna leave mine out. This is the second day that I waited to come check the Rover. I pulled the fuse out, and what that let me know is, as you can see, the Rover is leaning big time. In the back, it's still up. In the front, it's leaning down. So what that let me know, I do have a leak in the air system. Right now I'm going deeper into figuring out why the Rover was dipping that hard in the front. I simply just took the tire off. I'm looking at the relief valve block, and I'm also looking at the height adjustment sensor. Right here, we can see there is the height adjustment sensor right here. It's right here. 1, 2, you take these 2 screws out. 1, 2, these 2 screws out. Detach the clip, it comes out, and right here, get some light up in there. Right there, that's where you just take off one of the this little arm. You just pop it off, and then that comes out. Now, looking at the relief valve, because I think it also might be my relief valve, simply take these 3 screws out. It's just 3 screws like this. 1 from the bottom, 2 from right here. And here's the relief valve. You simply just pop it off from the grommets, and I spray water to see if any air was leaking, that soapy water solution again, to see if any air was leaking. No air was leaking, but this also can be the problem. This one is simple. You would just detach the 3 lines. The green one is the supply line. It's coming from the AC compressor. The air compressor. And then these other 2 just go to passenger side, driver's side, and unplug it. Very simple. This is a very cheap fix if this is the case. That's just another option that it could be. It could be the valve block, it could be the height sensor, it could be a leak in your air shock. I'm gonna rule out the leaks in my air shock. Like I said, I took my soapy water and I sprayed it at the top and bottom of the actual airbag, and I didn't see a leak. I'm doing my best to talk loud because of the lawnmower, but I didn't see a leak. And the fact that the Rover lowered evenly in the front and the back was still up, I don't think both struts went out at the same time. So I think it's either the valve block, the relief valve block, or the height adjustment sensors. I'm gonna go with it's the relief valve block. It's the cheapest to fix, it's the easiest to fix. I'm going with that first. Again, just to show that you don't damage the system when you pull out your height adjustment sensor, the fuse, I'm gonna put it back in, turn the vehicle on, and then you'll see that it raises and all the lights are out. If it is back at that 34.25. Yep, 34.25. All right. That just means that everything works and no lights. But that's how you determine how and what is causing your Rover to go down. Now, you can go online, you can go to Land Rover itself, and you can buy 4 height adjust sensors for $120 to $140 each. These are brand new from Rover, or you can go to various websites, Amazon, eBay, or just other auto part stores, and you can get a set for $120, you can get them for $50 each. The point is, you're gonna fix the whole problem, even if you go to Land Rover for 150 times 4, $600, or $200, and you get to keep your suspension, and it's easy. As usual, I appreciate your time. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm sure to get back at you.